Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to beautiful Planet Coaster with me, Spacefish. It's been already 4 weeks again since the last recording and I think it's absolutely mad. It absolutely does not feel like it. It all very much feels still like I just did all this work out here yesterday, but it's been a while since the last episode, and it's been a while since we have designed this huge landscape for our boom boats rather out here. Now, I'm not 100% sure what I do want to take care of this episode. I definitely know that I do want to advance the boom boats a bit further at the very least. I want to take care of getting some of these waterfalls going. I want to take care of getting some of these streams going, hopefully. Maybe readjusting a few smaller bits of the landscape, and maybe already also placing the first few assets out here to kind of get this scenery going a bit more. I feel I know there is still a lot of work left in this, and you all probably know it as well, that like this is going to be a massive project and there's going to be tons of ideas and opportunities. I feel like I've already got like 1, 2, 3, probably 4 up here, and then like 5, 6 different places to put scenery, and that's like outside of everything that I can put into stuff like these tunnels and everything. Like, then I've got this spot down here where I wanted to make like the logging camp a bit more prominent. So like the possibilities are pretty endless, I feel. How far we're going to go in that regard this episode, I'm not 100% sure. Now, other things on the list, I think one of the major things on the list at the moment is finally getting a proper coaster, which I still want to place out here, and I don't quite know. I feel like doing it myself, to be honest. I'm not really sure I want to go with anything pre-built, right? If you all remember, we've got all these coasters down here. Now, the thing is, if you look at the prices, they can be quite massive up here, right? We've got 33k on this thing, 27 on this one, which I don't really feel I want to do anyways, but like, yeah. I even want to like these. The Screamer is going to be like 15k, and I feel it may end up being the Screamer that we go for. It's kind of more the concept that I want to go for, I feel like, you know, what with like the lift kind of roller coaster, you know, none of these like well, this thing for example, right, none of these like slingshot thingies where you just get like booshed out and then you go all the way through, but one of these more, I don't want to call it usual, but lift coasters. What is this one? I haven't seen this one before though. The Grendel. Did we have that one before? Is that a new one? Doesn't feel all that usual. I do like how it fits in with the scenery that we already have. It looks kind of cool. But yeah, so I mean, that's what I'm kind of saying. Like, we definitely need to see about that whole scenery stuff and actually making things work. Because I feel we will be sort of out of this whole fairy tale theme out here. So I feel this would be the roller coaster I would want to go for. But it would take a lot of time and effort actually designing it. So I'm not sure I'm going to make it this speed build or the next one. And you know, I would even prefer to do it with you guys in like real time, but I'm not sure that's too realistic, given like if I look at this thing, it does look like it will take me absolute ages. And I feel, as far as I remember, there's definitely also a lot of like readjustment that needs to be done, because you need to always kind of balance the fear and the nausea and the excitement and everything. And if you go for too hard turns, you know, values just get out of whack way too crazily and people don't want to go on the ride anymore. So it's definitely gonna be a challenging one, but I would like to go for making one of my own, I feel, and then doing some scenery design around it. I'm not 100% sure what scenery design would be just yet, so I'd probably just go for like a base build like this, so not copy the build, but what I mean is like bare bone one, so like no buildings in there yet or anything, just a bare bone one like this that I make myself, and then eventually design the scenery around it. instead of designing it around the scenery, just so I can sort of get started in that. But yeah, so that's kind of the plans for the coaster, which will be happening either this episode or the next one, kind of depending on how busy I end up being up here and how much inspiration I will actually start getting from doing all this. I mean, of course, we've also got this stuff down here. So, like, as I said, endless possibilities on this ride. Let's kind of see what I will end up going for. I'll definitely start out with this, and, well, then we'll see. Either it'll just be a big old speed build on this stuff, or we will eventually start with this coaster out here. And what was that? Did you all see that? This. What's that? Just goes away when you get closer. Weird. Very, very weird. A ghost flame. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. I am going to place a cut here for you all, and I'm going to go and get myself into the speed build, and I'll see you all afterwards, I suppose. So see you then.
Your choice to make a little mockery, it won't do. Further down the line, still surrendering, trying harder to forgive you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile but don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down. Slow down, slow down, slow down.
When I'm up through the night,
I can't turn down the noise, tear all the worries out of my mind about who I'm supposed to be. I start to believe I can't get it right. Remember the days I let slip away, they were simpler times. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars, you'll be dancing, dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. Dancing on the moon. Dancing on the moon. Maybe my compass was wrong, and I'm still on my way closer each day to where I belong. I'm still rolling the dice, praying sometimes it don't last that long. I'm losing my faith, I'm walking away from what you knew all along. Mama told me before you leave, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars, you'll be dancing, dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life, you'll be dancing on the moon. Dancing on the moon. Child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are, don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars, you'll be dancing, dancing on the moon.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times, through color
Feel uninvited. Left home in West LA, I'm not excited. So uninspired. On my way to play the bay while you're alone. This girl's a wonder. She loves me, yeah, she needs to know I love her. I wonder if we'll make it through this summer. Just wanna touch like back when we were younger. Yeah. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me.
I'm so divided, starstruck, but hate has got some indecisive. I'm over fighting. I just can't wake up cold and sleep alone. This boy's some trouble. When he's around, my problems seem like double. His stupid eyes put me on ice, so no, no. Don't slow me down, don't wanna do this solo.
Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Love me, love me, love me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. I can't help myself, you're a drug to me. I just can't get enough. I know this is love, so come close to me while we're still young. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more. Why don't you love me, love me, love me? Touch me, touch me, touch me no more.
Alright everybody, hello and welcome back from the speed builds. So, as you could see, I've been pretty busy and I'm not even close to happy or finished with all this stuff yet, I'll have to say. I've spent a whole lot of time. I think I've kind of recorded one of the longest speed builds in a bit of a while now, just building all this stuff, because I mean, while it really didn't cover that much, it's kind of been very detailed, and it's kind of been a lot of detailed work, so that's why, you know, in the last speed build I made all this, and in this speed build it was more of a few smaller things. But as you can see, so I started down here with this scenery down here, and I mean, that's also kind of part of this all, right? I mean, I've got one scenery right here, I've got, well, the lattice right there, I've got another scenery right here that I sort of somewhat started, didn't really finish. I've got the other scenery up here, and I've got all the water stuff, so there's a lot of stuff. But starting with this, so idea down here being that it's kind of sort of a bit of a bandits camp, or, you know, you could maybe see it as a cowboy camp as well. I mean, these guys are called cowboys, but I would call it more of a bandits camp down there, right? With about us having then the little mine shaft in here, you know, that's like an old abandoned mine shaft with like a few treasures they have stolen, just hidden away in there. And, well, you know, their main base camp with their tent, with their stuff in it, with the campfire that they're chilling around, with a little bit of dynamite from when the mine was still in use, or maybe it's, you know, theirs to blow things up. This scaffolding I kind of implemented, kind of the thought behind it being, you know, that it protects them from any rock slides and stuff like that. So that was kind of the idea behind pulling that up, and then of course like miscellaneous smaller things, you know, a little place for them to actually tie their horses to. Which, that said, let me just double check, but I don't think I had found any horses, unfortunately. Probably would be a good idea to look for all. But yeah, so unfortunately no like horse animatronics or whatever that stuff is called just yet. So that's kind of unfortunate. Would have really loved to put like a horse or two there as well, but that's unfortunately then probably not an option. Moving up then, so I made the ladders, you know, as a means for them to kind of move around this huge place. Also got a ladder out here, because if you'll remember, I'm actually considering to like properly dig tunnels through here, even though, you know, it's not really visible. Kind of considering to have those dug, so let's see. Maybe I'll do that eventually, but I've already kind of provisioned for that one way or another. I mean, these holes do need to make some sense. They should make some sort of sense. Idea up here being maybe, you know, some little place to wash gold or something like that. You know, let's see what I can kind of make up there. The props are unfortunately somewhat limited in regards to people, I've found out this episode, so not sure I can do all the stuff that I want to. That would be my idea right here. So let's see how doable that is. And we've got, of course, a little minecart shaft up here. And I needed to custom build these rails down here, because there is no minecart rails in this game for some reason. There is only train rails, which was really kind of annoying, because they were way too wide for the minecart. So I had to custom build for one, the actual rails, and then add the planks to it, you know, turn them back and forth, made them a bit more random, like you'd probably more expect from a mine shaft, and, you know, kind of, you know, tried to terraform around it as good as possible, so it wouldn't, so the planks don't go on like 2 meters out to the left and 2 meters out to the right, but so it makes a bit more sense that way. That's like very far away from finish though, as I said. I mean, it's really just a bit of a start, so I kind of know what my idea for this place is. But yeah, so this is going to be kind of a bit of a mine shaft with, well, it's leading further into the mine, and maybe, you know, the rails going a bit further out, having a little bit of an end point here, and maybe even having some miners or whatever. Don't think I have the props for that yet again, so let's see how much of all that I want to do out here is going to end up being doable in the end. Then, before we come to this part out here, that was kind of the next part on my list. I'm not sure I told you all this, but this has kind of been my idea since I terraformed this hole into here and, like, made this plateau. Having a small little hut on top of this huge mountain. That was kind of my base idea. I really wanted to initially make it, you know, like a little bit wanky and wonky and not really straight and nice, but like, you know, rustic and everything, but that's of course also kind of limited in terms of props, unfortunately. So I did end up having to make it somewhat straight, but I picked this sort of, you know, rustic looking wood. I picked the little rusted roof, and, you know, just like very basic parts intentionally to make this, you know, more of a minimalist hut. You know, you got some cooking stuff outside with a little campfire that I sunk into the ground to actually make it cook, and, you know, like some basic fences and stuff all around the place. Certainly still not finished either. I've got a lot more ideas that I want to implement up here that I think are good for a start to the idea. I kind of wanted to make it like an old man that owned the hut that was sitting on top of the mountain in his like chair and looking over all the place, but unfortunately only have cowboys, so that was kind of the closest thing that I could put there. So I just decided to put a chilling sitting cowboy up there that kind of, you know, takes over, watch, owns the place. I don't know, whatever it may be. And you know, then the ladder, of course, to get yourself into the cave system, which will hopefully, of course, sometime be a thing. So that was the third part. Then fourth part, and this one took me quite a while as well. I obviously wanted to make this a bit of a stream, and I couldn't actually get water into here, because, you know, if I would get water to this altitude, it would kind of super overflow down here. So that doesn't work, like, due to the boundary being this low right here. That's kind of the highest level that I can get water out to, so I can't make it out here to actually... So yeah, I think you get the point, but that's really unfortunate, just like the water, the fluid dynamics, unfortunately how they work. So my kind of workaround here is going to be to work a lot of props and special effects, and I've kind of dug up these special effects, which I've kind of gotten sunken into the actual, well, the actual structural elements of our boom boat so far. I'll definitely be getting more. I'll be sinking them more into the ground as well, like I did up front here, and I'll kind of be mixing the bigger and the more medium ones and everything. So all the ground gets nice and evenly covered, and this is going to be sort of this big stream, so you're not going to see the gaps in here in the end anymore. It's all going to be a bit more fluid, and I'm maybe even going to enter elements like these here. I put one of these fountain effects in there as well, just to make it a bit more uniform in the end, so I may sink those in between as well. So definitely a lot of work still to do only on that one stream. And then of course I've got my waterfall down here, which I definitely need to make. I've got another waterfall out here, got another waterfall out here, got another waterfall or like little stream out here, and I was thinking about making this a little stream as well, but I am thinking I'll probably leave this as is. But yeah, so you can already see a lot of work still to do there. I told you all this was going to be a massive project. I'm not going to be done with this thing in even like 3, 4, 5 speed builds. It's probably going to be like 10 just for this thing, kind of my estimation. And just for, you know, kind of measure, you know, I'm usually doing about an hour for usual speed build. This one probably was more 1.5 hours already, so it's really going somewhere for time, so I'm easily going to sink like 10, 15, 20 hours into this whole thing, I think. But yeah, so that's kind of the further plans. I was also kind of thinking about having some really nice water fountain mechanism that gets triggered when a boom boat goes diving into here eventually, so I'll maybe also get myself into that and how that works, and then you'll have fountains going up here like boosh, 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 depending on where the thing currently is. That would be quite epic. I hope I can make that work too. And then of course we've still got this scenery down here, and we've still got that scenery down there. So, you know, the boom boats are kind of in the works for the next 2 bajillion years. But yeah, so that's about it for this episode, I'd say. We've been earning some nice money, and like monthly profit overall has been pretty decent, so, you know, we keep going the right way, and I feel, you know, we may as well keep going with this for like another episode or 2 before I make another coaster, unless, you know, I have an episode where I'm really just not that inspired. But so far I feel it's been going pretty nicely, and I'm still full of ideas for all this stuff, so I feel I'm going to keep going with this for a while, and then we'll just have a nice little bolster of cash, and we'll put that into a new coaster down below. But let's see about that. For the time being, I hope you enjoyed what I did so far. Of course, a lot of work still to do, as I said, but that will follow in the next episode, so I do of course hope I'll see you all there. But for today, this has been it. If you did enjoy this episode, please make sure to hit that like button down below. If you enjoyed what I did, if you've got any more ideas, anything you think I can improve on, any issues I may have encountered on the way that you have the solutions to, also please make sure to let me know in the comments down below. And if you're new around the channel and have not hit that subscribe button just yet, definitely make sure to do so to stay up to date on all the future upcoming speed builds and other episodes on other games on my channel that you may also be interested in. And don't forget about that notification bell as well to stay up to date on all of those. That said, as always, thank you all very much for watching, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.